Hi, morning traders. Welcome to another session of Market Snapshot. Last week we had NFP, and so awesome volatility. And as expected, guys, there's a video I did on how to trade NFP. I hope you guys have been watching that video. So that is what played out. We had a few manipulations here and there, but then again, there was those clear-cut maybe currencies that were quite good, like USDCAD. We'll have a look at those in a few. So everyone who's joining, welcome to this session. I look forward to your questions towards the end. More importantly, your engagement, your feedback. What do you want us to do, guys? Where do you want us to come for these sessions, And so remember, once again, this is purely educational analysis, right? Not it shouldn't be construed to make investment decision, right? So just take note of that disclaimer. So as we look at remember, the conversation has always been this: every day when you wake up as a trader, make sure that you're looking at your economic calendars. Get to know what's moving on that particular day, what fundamentals will be coming out that could affect your positions. So, for example, today we are looking. We don't have much. We've seen the claimant count change on GBP that has made the GBP bullish. But with this hold, we'll have a look at that later. We have something that could really affect the Canadian dollar. Governor Macklem will be speaking. So this is something that we really need to be on the note, especially for those guys who are trading Canadian dollar. And then more importantly, tomorrow is when we have a lot of volatility coming in, CPI. So we're all waiting for this because, the volatility that will come with it. So the expectation is that guys are expecting the inflation rate to have gone down to 2.6% from the 2.9%. That brings a bigger case for rate cuts later in the month. So that's something that we're looking at. On Thursday, we also have PPI and employment claims. That's volatility coming in. And that's it for the week. So today on Tuesday, since we don't have much fundamentals playing out, we'll be looking at the technicals and see how look at the possible movements that we could be having in the market moving forward. So without much ado, let's get to our charts. Let's have a look at the technicals and see what's really playing out. So I'll go to my MT5 and we'll just have a look at a review of what we were looking at last week. So this was the outlook we had on Tuesday. So we were looking at a bullish USDCHF. Clearly that trade failed, and we can see the bearish push. So this was NFP. We can see the spikes that played out, a bullish dollar and then later bearish and then now bullish. So there was some whipsaws in the market. So what are we looking at? So let's remove this prior analysis, and map out USDCHF afresh. So what are we looking at? So if we go to higher time frames, try and look at the market on the daily. So we can see a close of this candle. This is quite bullish. So we are looking for opportunities to go up. Remember, if we look at last month's low, the low of August, right? So this is the low of August. We can see this candle during NFP closed above. Yeah, so there was this spike to the low, but then it closed above. So this was more of a hunt onto the stop losses. And then, of course, we can see the close of this. So we are looking at a bullish USDCHF. And ideally, based on that, we should now be looking at entries. So I'll go to lower time frames, H4, to try and seek better entries. However, if we do not see entries on H4, we'll go to H1. So if we go to H1, what we are looking at is maybe a drop. If I were to look for opportunities, what I'll be mapping out is probably this push to maybe this moving average over here. And then we now look for buy opportunities. So I'm still bullish. Maybe a test of, let's go to H4. So if we go to H4, we could look at this test, last week's high. That will be my take profit. So entry 84.73, 84.75, and then maybe intraday you're looking at 85.38. That's around 60 pips, right? So yeah, that will be my outlook on USDCHF intraday. However, so that is what I'm looking at on this pair. Let's go to GBPUSD. GBPUSD, last week we were looking for opportunities to go short. However, we can see what happened. There was that bullish push. Now this candle over here represents a great push by sellers, by the bears, and so what we are looking at is opportunities to go short. Maybe the same analysis plays out. Remember, in our last analysis we had mapped out 30.59 as a possible area of support, and we can see it has held. It has held because of this bullish push we can see. However, we are looking at a bearish push. So what do? We remove this analysis from last week and map it out afresh. So I would want to see GU come to 3120. 3120. That's an area I would want to see GU get to before looking for sell opportunities. So if we narrow it down to lower time frames, then what we are looking at, is an opportunity for GU maybe to push up, maybe even to this moving average. So we have two possible areas that I will be interested to see. That 120, that 125. 25 is a quarter point, so I would really want to see that 125 play out. And so if we go now to H1, or let's go to H4, I would want to see GU push up for around, I think 40 pips, no, 30 something pips. So I would want to see this bullish push, 34 pips push, or the push to that 125, that bullish push. And then after that, I anticipate to see sellers coming in. And where would I want to see sellers push GU to? 29.66. That will be take profit 2. So I want take profit 1. So take profit 1 will be on this moving average, 30.13. So I would only be looking for opportunities to short GU at 31.20 or 31.25. So those are the two areas I'm interested to see GU get to before looking for opportunities to short for around, I think, 111 pips, and maybe a further push to 29.66. So that is what I'll be interested to see on GBP USD. Let's look at Euro USD. Let's look at Euro USD. So what was the outlook last week? Do we have the outlook on it? Okay. Yeah, so if we look at the outlook, we were looking for opportunities to short, as we can see down here. Didn't play out as expected. I think the drop was around 50 pips. Yeah, around 50 pips. Remember, we had this conversation. We had this conversation where I said, as part of trade management, make sure that you're booking your trades, right? If your trade moves maybe 30 pips in profit or 50 pips in profit, make sure that you book your positions. And the ideal way, especially for those of us who are starting out, is to look at maybe your lot size. So let's say if you're using 0.05 lot size, divide that into 3. Maybe here you're looking at 0.02, 0.02, and another 0.01. So when your trade hits your first 30 pips, right? So you close that position, you close that position, right? And then you let the other trade maybe go to 50 pips, right? The next 0.02 lot size, and then the final 0.01 lot size, maybe you can hold that to maybe 80 pips, 100 pips. It all depends on the outlook. Now, every time your trade hits take profit one, make sure that you adjust your stop loss into profit. So what you've done is that you've made your trade a risk-free trade. However, you've booked some money, So ideally, you've paid yourself. Unlike someone who has a trade running 50 pips into profit and yet they've not booked their trades, right? So make sure that you practice that kind of trade management. Now, let's look at Euro USD. Let's remove these analyses from last week. So what are we looking at? Maybe go to higher time frames to try and seek opportunities if we can. So if I were to look for opportunities, I would be looking at a bullish push on Euro USD, maybe to this moving average over here. 1056, that's around 17 pips. Yeah, 17 pips from now. So the moment we get to that price level, then we should now start looking for opportunities to go short. And so ideally, if we go to higher time frames, I want to look at possible areas. One is this order block over here, 1019. So that's around, if you're looking at an entry of 1056, that's around 45 pips, right? 45 pips. And then the next area I'll be looking at will be on this moving average, 0980. That's around, I think, 76 pips. Yeah. So if we map it out, let's go to these. So I'm looking for a bullish push to that moving average to 21 for 21 pips. And then after that, then we can see a bearish push to what we've seen to 1011 to 1011 and then 0980. So we have that and then maybe that. So we have those two areas as possible take profit areas on Euro USD. And then let's look at Bitcoin. So remember, Bitcoin, I've been looking for opportunities to short. Remember these analyses, for me, I'll not change these analyses. So first we were looking for a bullish push. And then after this, we said we are looking for short opportunities on Bitcoin to 51. Actually, if we look at it, this is the analysis. So we are looking for short opportunities to 51,743 and then also a possible 42,823. Those are the two areas. And remember, we said why, because we are looking at this order block as a possible area of support. So these are the areas we are looking for opportunities to buy Bitcoin. Until price gets to, ideally for me, 42,823, I'm not touching BTC. In any case, I'm looking for opportunities to short. That's it on Bitcoin. Let's look at UT100. So UT100, we were looking for opportunities to sell And then once price gets to this area we had mapped out as a possible area of support, we were looking for opportunities to buy. So this trade only got here on Friday, just before NFP. So we can see this area was acting as a strong support because we can see a bullish push to the moving average, but then after that we can see that bearish push that played out. So this bullish analysis was invalidated. So let's remove everything on this particular trade. So what are we looking at? Let's go to higher time frames. If we go to H4, I want to have a look at what Nasdaq is doing. So let's go to the daily time frames, monthly. So remember, the goal of every trader is to look for this opportunity. So ideally, we can see what happened. You can see this order block over here, this bullish order block, which is the last bearish candle before a major push up that led to the break of this structure. Look at what has happened. This is what has tested. The market has tested that order block. You can see it did test that order block last week during NFP on Friday, right? So it came to that order block and then the bullish push. However, I still anticipate a bearish push, and the bearish push now is to this order block over here. So let's remove this one. So the first take profit on UT100 Nasdaq will be this moving average. However, we could see Nasdaq come all the way down to that order block. Let's work with this one over here. Yeah, 17794. That's probably what I would want to see on Nasdaq. So let's look at maybe the area of support. Where would we be looking at? So if I'm looking at Nasdaq, I want to map out areas of possible resistance. Yeah, so that is the area I've mapped out as a possible area where we could see Nasdaq get to. So I'll be looking for opportunities to short Nasdaq at 18748, and then see whether we can see that bearish push, and maybe these other bearish push. That's what I see on UT100 Nasdaq. What about Audi USD? Audi USD, we can't. Where's the analysis from last week? Okay, I can't really seem to find it. So let's remove this analysis. Yeah, so we are looking for opportunities to short Audi USD. So we just need to look at where possible areas where we want Audi USD to go to. So we have, can we identify last month's low? So this is quite low. It's something that we could get to. Let's go to the monthly, to the weekly. Okay, so maybe if I were to look at it, I would be looking at a move. That's a 30 pips move. Yeah, so I would be looking for opportunities to short Audi USD for the 30 pips push. Or is it 40? It's more of 30. It's 30 pips. Yeah. So from current market price of 66.57 to maybe 66.27. That will be my outlook on Audi USD. What about gold? So gold, we were looking for opportunities to short all the way to this move to we were looking for opportunities to short all the way to 24.66. Price didn't get to that price level, and then we are looking for buy opportunities. Once again, we can see that buy on gold play out. However, didn't get to our area of resistance, which is what we were interested in seeing. So let's map out gold afresh and see where the opportunities are. So if we go to daily, I'm looking at our time frames to try and figure out where gold is headed. So we've seen a test of this high. So what we can see, it seems like this high is holding. If you look at the wicks, the rejection candle is over here. So ideally, in such a scenario, then I would want to see gold. I'm looking for opportunities to short gold. I'm looking for opportunities to short gold. However, I would want to see maybe a push. Knowing gold how volatile it can be, I'm looking for some good entries that could work out. M5, 15. So maybe map out that area and then go to H4, look at the lows. So I'm looking at more of an intraday or a swing position. So if I were to look for opportunities on gold, I would be looking for opportunities to maybe buy gold to 25.16 and then look for short opportunities for around 400 and something pips, 435 pips to 24.71. That is what I'll be looking at on gold. USD card. So last week the analysis was quite clear. We were looking for opportunities. We were looking for opportunities to buy USD card at that 483. That was our area of support, and we can see this is what played out on Friday, and then price went all the way up. So we expect this bullish push to play out all the way to that 587. So this is one of the other trades that actually hit our take profit areas. Not really take profit, but our support area, which was the area we are looking at. Remember, we said we need to develop patience for us to actualize some of our setups, right? But then look at what happened on Friday. A spike to the low. This was more of a stop hunt raid, and so some guys who are bullish earlier were taken out by this push. But then again, that bullish push came to play. So we just need to get to outline what we are looking at. So if we look at this trade, I'm looking for bullish pushes all the way to this moving average over here, 36.36. Yeah. So opportunities should probably be up until That's like 86 pips from down here. But before that bullish push, I would want to see maybe USD test this low, the Asian low, or yesterday's low. Let's work with yesterday's low. We've seen the governor will be speaking, so we could see a spike to the low and then a bullish push. So if I were to look for opportunities on on USDCAD, I would want to see a push to 35.45. That's like 25 pips from the current market price. And then once price gets here, then we should see now a continuation of the bullish run to 36.36. Yeah, that's it. Maybe if we look at Apple has closed the gap, really, has it? Not completely, but we need to see this gap really closed. We've been following up on this gap. I remember this was based on a question from one of you, whether this gap will be closed, and we can see I think 3/4 of it has been closed. So let's see how this plays out, and yeah, we can work on that. Otherwise, that's it from my end. Any questions? Last week on Friday, we had a great Pips and Branch in Nairobi, in Nakuru, in Eldoret. Anyone who attended those events, kindly share with us your feedback. What would you want us to do better, right? Yeah. In terms of analysis, is TradingView better vis-a-vis what you're using? Clarify. Thomas, it's more of preference. There are guys who prefer TradingView. I think I'm so old school. I'm the kind of guy who's been stuck with MT5. Actually, I was more into MT4 from 2015. And then from last year, I started using MT5. So I've really never used actually TradingView, but it's quite easy. So it's more of preference, Thomas. How do you see pips on this platform? So ideally, you just need to use your crosshair. Like for example, if you're doing GBPUSD, let's look at GBPUSD. If you look at what we are looking at, maybe you can do this, drag the crosshair. Like for example, you can see the way I'm dragging it. Based on if we're looking at an entry of that 119, then we can see it has 1054 points. That's 105 pips. If you're looking at a further push downwards, then that's 1,538 points. That's 153 pips. Hope I've covered your question. What will be Malombe? What will be the fundamental reason driving dollar strength even after a weak employment data? Good question. So the dollar, if you look at maybe I would look at it as more of a planned long-term bearish push as we head into the rate cuts. So I would consider this more of a fake move. You know, I would consider this more of a fake move as we go into the rate cuts. So it's more of like trapping guys into thinking that the dollar is bullish, and then maybe after the rate cuts we can see now the tanking of the dollar. So fundamentally, I wouldn't say that there's anything that is pushing that, because clearly, as you said, the job outlook was not what traders had expected. Your view on GJ. Do I have GJ over here? I think someone has ever asked me that. So let's have a look at it. Chart window. So I'll just use one of my templates. So go to higher time frames. I love my higher time frames because it gives me a clear sense of direction. So if we go to the weekly, then go to the monthly. So we can see it seems like this order block is holding. So if I were to look for opportunities on GJ, I would want to see, so there was this test of last week's low. It has been tested today, this week, sorry. And then you can see a bullish push. Okay, so maybe map out that moving average over there. Go to H1. Go to M15. Okay, so if I were to look for opportunities on GJ, I will still be looking for bullish opportunities. I will be probably looking for that, and then maybe look for bearish trades after that. Kindly give thoughts, Josiah. Josiah. Okay, I hope I pronounced that in the right way. Euro GBP. Do I have it? I don't think I have it. Huh? No one has ever. Oh, it's here. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the chart window. Let's choose one of my templates. Euro GBP looks like bullish to me, even though I've not gone to higher time frames. Let's see. Yeah, so 84.70. I'll be looking for I'll be looking for buy opportunities on this one. If I were to take a position on this one, I'll be looking at buy trades. Yeah, that's probably what I would want to see on Euro JP or on Euro GBP. That will be the educational analysis. Maybe a test. Maybe we could see a test of this low. I don't know. Yeah, that low is last week's low, 84.05. Yeah, and then from there we could probably see bulls coming to 84.70. H1. Let's see. Do I have anything on H1? Yeah. So that's probably what I will go with. So we now expect gold to be bearish for how long? Well, Brian, in all honesty, when it comes to gold, you really can't give it a time frame. Why? Because it's a safe haven asset. Basically, that means if there's turmoil in the world, investors rush to buy gold and gold skyrockets. So, for example, if right now there were to be a major attack somewhere in, let's say, Europe, or what's happening in the Middle East, we will expect a lot of investors rushing to buy gold. So it's really hard for us to give a time frame to how long we could anticipate gold to be bearish or bullish. However, based on my analysis, if we go back to this, remember once again, this is a bearish, this is an educational analysis. We are looking at opportunities to see gold test the low of last week. This is what I mapped out, H4. On H4, if you look at the period separators, this represents the lowest price last week. So that's why I have mapped out gold to touch maybe last week's low. Any other question? There seems to be no other question. So thank you for your time. Let's see how the market is. A 50 rate cut possible? Yes, Nahashon, that's a possibility. Guys are looking at that actually more than 25. So that's a possible rate cut. However, what's surprising is if we were to find a 75 one, that would crush the dollar a good one. So market, I think, has priced in a 50. Okay. Any other question? So kindly, guys, give us your feedback for those who attended Pips and Branch in Nakuru, Nairobi, Eldoret, and yeah, let us know what do you think. Should we have more of these events come moving forward? Where do you want us to visit next? Do you want us to come to Meru? Do you want us to come to Mombasa? Do you want us to come to Kakamega? Do you want us to come to Embu? Just give us your feedback, and we will really appreciate. Otherwise, thank you for your time. Cheers. Have a peaceful day. Have a bullish week.